The Dead Sea has captured and intrigued millions of people throughout history despite its terrible reputation. The Dead Sea is situated between Israel and the Palestinian West Bank to the east and Jordan to the west. The Dead Sea is a once-in-a-lifetime experience with its clean waters, panoramic views, and selfies that are suitable for social media. Here are some of our favorite Dead Sea facts to learn more. How dead is the Dead Sea, you may be wondering. It turns out that the question is legitimate. The Dead Sea's high salinity levels hinder the lake's aquatic ecosystems and living forms from thriving. Even if there are traces of macrobiotic life, it largely lives up to its name and exhibits almost no signs of life. The outcome is the Dead Sea, a sparkling, immaculate body of water with an unending horizon. Okay, so the Dead Sea isn't completely lifeless. The lake's high salt content prevents it from supporting aquatic life, yet it greatly contributes to the network of ecosystems in its vicinity. A network of freshwater springs located in the Dead Sea helps to hydrate the oasis encircling the harbor. Numerous aquatic species and mammals that travel between Africa and Europe can be found in these oases. On Mount Sodom, in Israel, not far from the western shore of the Dead Sea, is where the salt pillar known as Lot's wife can be located. The natural type of sodium chloride known as halite, often known as rock salt, makes up the majority of Mount Sodom. Mount Sodom has the highest rate of rise in Israel, according to measurements, rising 5 to 9 millimeters a year. Rock salt rises due to its unique characteristics, including its inclination to flow due to flexibility and its reduced density, 2.15 tons per cubic meter as opposed to the 2.3 to 2.7 tons per cubic meter common for other deep rocks in the region. One of the saltiest lakes in the world is the Dead Sea, as was previously mentioned. It is 10 times saltier than the typical body of water and contains an estimated 33% to 35% of salt. It is one of the only spots in the entire globe where your body would naturally float thanks to the lake's high salt content. You will discover that the lake, which attracts millions of visitors from all over the world and inspires hundreds of Instagram photographs, will easily and lazily cradle you in its body of water. Even though the Dead Sea is renowned for its buoyancy, if you aren't careful, drowning is still a possibility. Swimmers have been thrown over and drowned as a result of the lethal western winds. It is advised against sticking your head underwater because doing so increases the chance of drowning from ingesting salt water. Make careful you select a beach with a designated lifeguard when you decide to go. You can actually scuba dive in the Dead Sea. It requires special diving abilities, but those who have them can take advantage of the breathtaking geological salt formations. Did you know that the Dead Sea was the first wellness destination in history? Ancient civilizations discovered that the Dead Sea possessed royal quality healing abilities. Herod the Great, who ruled the Roman Empire. It has been discovered that taking mud baths and bathing in the mineral-rich water are excellent treatments for serious skin problems. While the harbor is home to various spas, the Dead Sea is nature's spa and a public resource that is free to use. No other location offers a more therapeutic atmosphere than this one. The Dead Sea, does life exist there? The Dead Sea is not fully dead, despite the fact that there is no visible aquatic life there. In actuality, there is life in the Dead Sea. Simply put, unless you bring a microscope or dig deep enough, you can't see it. Despite being one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth, scientists have discovered bacteria and algae that can thrive in the Dead Sea. Even though diving in the Dead Sea is challenging, some divers were able to locate a number of craters that were covered in a wide variety of bacterial films. But how is that even conceivable? Well, the presence of freshwater springs in the craters has surprised scientists since they enable certain primitive forms of life to endure these conditions. The Dead Sea is located at the planet's lowest land elevation. In other words, at 427 meters below sea level, this lake is the lowest spot on Earth. Because the roads are located so much above sea level, driving through the Dead Sea region offers spectacular sights. About 2,300 feet below sea level is where the Dead Sea lake bed is at its deepest. The Judean hills to the west and the Transjordanian highlands to the east are separated by the Dead Sea, which is about 50 miles long and 11 miles wide at its widest point. Your skin may benefit from Dead Sea water. About 34% of the Dead Sea is salt. Exposure to the water and dirt of the Dead Sea has long been known to have positive effects on skin and overall health. According to some research, bathing in the magnesium-rich Dead Sea water can improve the skin's ability to retain moisture while reducing irritation and dry skin. Bacteria are the only organisms that can endure in the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is devoid of all recognized life, thus there are no jumping dolphins, swimming fish, or seaweed to get caught between your toes. All life forms are extinct due to the extreme salt content, with the exception of some recently found microorganisms. Don't drink the water, of course. In demand among travelers is Dead Sea dirt. The pictures of tourists applying mud to their bodies, letting it dry, and then washing it off in the sea are almost as well known as the water itself. The seafloor provides the deposits of black mud, which are rich in calcium, magnesium, sodium, and potassium. The Dead Sea might be the world's largest free spa. The Dead Sea is the largest natural free spa in the world because of all that mud. But if you still feel the desire to indulge in spa treatments, there are many hotels in the region, like the well-known Ein-Gedi Hotel, that provide restorative spa services. These scrolls came from the Dead Sea. Some of the earliest known manuscripts of the Hebrew Bible can be found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were stumbled upon in a cave in Qumran. In order to allow scholars to continue their research, portions of the Dead Sea Scrolls now occasionally tour different museums. Does the Bible mention the Dead Sea? You might be curious as to whether or not the Dead Sea is mentioned in the Bible, given that Israel is rife with biblical history. Yes, the Bible has numerous references to the Dead Sea, such as in the story of Lot's wife. When Lot's wife couldn't resist the temptation and turned around to see Sodom and Gomorrah being destroyed, God transformed her into a salt pillar. When David fled from King Saul, he also found safety in the oasis of Ein-Gedi, which is situated on the western borders of the Dead Sea. There is also more. Dead Sea Scrolls dating back 2,000 years were discovered in the Qumran caves of today. These scrolls are among the most significant archaeological discoveries in history and are the earliest known Hebrew biblical writings. As would be expected, the Dead Sea region, often referred to as the Salt Sea in the Bible, played a significant role even in ancient times, as seen by sites like Masada or Ein-Gedi. By the way, Sodom is currently located southwest of the Dead Sea, close to the Dead Sea Works plant. Even though God himself cursed and destroyed this region, you can now still go there if you're brave enough. The Dead Sea is receding. Why? The Dead Sea is rapidly diminishing despite being a famous tourist destination in both Israel and Jordan. Only a portion of the ecological catastrophe can be attributed to the enormous Dead Sea Works factories that are visible in the south. The main source of water, the Jordan River, has undergone extensive diversion over the past few decades, which is a major problem. The basin has been gradually diminishing as freshwater inflow decreases year after year, mostly as a result of agriculture. The future of the Dead Sea is not particularly promising because there is no true remedy in sight. The multi-billion-dollar Red Sea Dead Sea project, which was supposed to return water from the Red Sea to the Dead Sea, is likely more of an expensive pipe dream. The Dead Sea, which has a surface area of 1020 square kilometers and is located 390 meters below sea level, was first discovered in 1960. Currently, the water's surface only covers 605 square kilometers, and it is 430 meters below sea level. The estimates for 2050 are dismal, and the Dead Sea is rapidly disappearing. The Dead Sea may disappear more sooner than the natural cycle predicts if nothing is done soon. This is all for today. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon for more videos. Stay tuned with AWZ.